Hello, Teresa here. Firstly, a big thank you to all the new subscribers. The numbers are gradually going up very slowly, but thank you for your subscription. Also, I need to apologise yet again for not answering comments on Facebook or YouTube and elsewhere. Truth is, it's a very busy time here. Some of you might know that Glenn and I are getting married 1st of November, and I just cannot believe the amount of stuff we have to do, legal stuff as well, and it's a bit of a headache. Now this video is very short because my daughter and I went up to Birmingham, hence the bull in the background, that picture there, and to do some bridesmaid work in a hotel room with Glenn's daughter. We need to alter a bridesmaid's dress. So all I did was grab some material, a handful of material, odds and ends from my work basket. This on the screen was what my 2-year-old grandson had some little treats in, and the bags are really lovely. It's waterproof, it's a beautiful thick fabric, and I thought, I'm not throwing that, I'm going to use that. And these are the scraps that I'll be using from the rag bag. You'll have seen all these pieces. These were all offcuts from a project we did not so long ago. Most of them have been backed with iron-on interfacing, but some of that can come off. I don't know what that spirit level was doing there in my work bag. Goodness only knows. But these are the bits that I'll be taking. I'll just be shoving them in my bag. We're about to leave now, actually, so they really will be just crammed into a paper bag, I'm afraid. Right, so this bit, we have arrived in Birmingham, and I absolutely love Birmingham. It's vibrant. There's a cross-section of people. It's just a wonderful, noisy, kind, helpful, gentle place to be. People are lovely. Now I've included this because this is some sort of installation in the middle of the Grand Central railway station, and it's just absolutely fabulous. You will be seeing this later on, maybe next year now, in another project. Wow. I've fallen in love with this. It's called Aussie the Ball. And you know, we're encouraged to take photographs. It's huge. If you notice then the people in the background and how tiny they are, it is just huge. It's quite frightening, actually. It has the eyes that follow you around. In the hotel room now, and I've set out my things on the bed. And I've already, before filming, I've put the pieces of fabric, the scraps, onto the back of that small bag. And as you can see by looking at the screen, I've actually started sewing around some of the pieces. And I'm using quite a nice blanket stitch. It's very hard to sew and hold the camera at the same time. So I'm concentrating on holding the camera and not sewing. But I think you all know how to do the blanket stitch. It's a lovely stitch, and I'm hoping that if I can keep it evenly spaced, I'll be able to use the spaces between the long legs there, because as you know, I like to weave between those. But it's a really nice thing to do, is just sitting here on the bed in the hotel room, just sewing, and it's really quite mindful, actually, after a busy day travelling from Kent up to Birmingham, and we're going through all the noise and everything, and it's very nice. I'm quite enjoying it at the moment. So, quick update. This is how far I've got with the feather stitch. Oh, sorry, not the feather stitch, the blanket stitch. I've decided to use different colours from the background. Now, I only brought up these colours with me, so I'm using a really restricted palette here, but hopefully the colours will match the background. It doesn't matter if they don't. I'm not that bothered. These are the things that I brought in my tin. So, as I say, I am restricted by what I use, because if it wasn't in the tin, apart from the fabric, I've not brought it. Now with the stuff I had in the tin, the string of sequins, you can see that I've already started laying them down, sewing them down. This is all I had of the purple and the red. There might be a tiny bit more of red. There's quite a lot of the gold, but this is going to be just a freedom of shape, colour, texture. We don't have any rules, as you know. I'm not even thinking about the design principles at the moment, but already, believe it or not, the shape is just automatically taking form, as is the texture as well. So I'm really enjoying this, and it's taking shape nicely. So I've now introduced another stitch, the feather stitch here in pink, and I'm using 4 strands of thread and a long needle, and it's just a joy to do. It really is, because I'm using that paper bag. Well, it isn't a paper bag, it's more like a plastic lined bag of some sort. It's quite easy for the needle to go through. Now, I don't think I mentioned that I'm also using slow stitch or running stitch, which you can see here. So that has gone in. Now I brought some oranges up as well, and once again I started using the orange bags. Kath Avalon, you'll be pleased to know, because I know you always enjoyed seeing the fruit bags being used. So nothing's going to waste. I have to be a bit resourceful and use what's in the room, what I've taken up. Obviously I've had to take the oranges out, but there's the oranges sitting there on the shelf. Just a little cheeky bit of wine there, waiting for later. Yeah, you're going, you can go. There's no need to video that. And now you can see that I've actually lengthened the orange bag. I've opened it up, lengthened it to thread the needle. Now the back as well. Now, you know, the back's not looking too bad either. I mean, on another project, this would be what I'll be aiming for. But here I go with the orange bag thread. Once again, that is nice to use, but there's a tendency for it to thin as I'm pulling it through all these fabrics now. There's the bag, and there's probably some interfacing, and the fabric itself. It's taken on a really nice look already. Now this is a short project. It's not quite in real time, but it is a very, very quick project to do. And it's really enjoyable. I know I keep saying that, but I really am enjoying it. And as you can see, I've threaded, I have woven, that's all that's left from the bag, because I've woven through the legs of the blanket stitch. If you have a look here, it's really noticeable on the yellow how I've taken the needle underneath the legs and pulled it through. Oranges, I don't know what this bit is about. Oh, here we go. Yeah, having trouble with the camera again. So a few more stitches going on there, a little bit more feather stitch. Just a quick look to see now that I have used all the orange bag. There's no more left at all, so I won't be using any more. But look at the texture and the line it's creating naturally without putting anything thought into it. Left it on the pin to the blind, the window blind, so I could have a good look at it. I've added a few more bits here, and there was still something missing. So hey ho, I had my scarf on me, and I've decided to take out some of these threads. Now my daughter's at the side of me, and she's actually laughing. Oh Mum, what are you doing with that scarf I bought for you? Well, I've taken some threads out, and I'm going to thread them through some of the other legs of the blanket stitch. So when I get back to you in a couple of minutes, hopefully I'll have threaded this wool from the shawl through the legs, and here it is. Took a few minutes. I've also added buttons here with sequins and some French knots. Now the French knots didn't seem to add anything whatsoever, so I've only used the ones you can see I've also put some cross stitches in, the blue on the right, there's some more somewhere else. Put straight stitch as well around the buttons. There's the cross stitches I spoke about. You can see the straight stitch there around that button. And these are where the buttons came from, the cardigan that I'm wearing. I know, it's terrible. It's quite an old cardigan, so I can leave that in the bin anyway. But I thought that is what the work needed to finish it off. And once again, I'm showing you the back of this, so you can see how the threads are secured. They're quite stable. They're not going to pull through. Now, I've decided that I will line it with felt, so I just popped out actually to get a bag of felt. I think it was from the Works I got these, so I think it was the Works, can't remember now. And I'm going to use the blue to line the paper. So I'm back at home now, and I've had a run through the pieces of film that I took in the hotel, and some of it is a bit shaky, so I'm really sorry about that. But as I explained, I can't film with my camera, and so I'm a bit shaky with my camera, so I'm really sorry about that. I hope it's not spoiled anything. Well, I carried on when I got in, and I realised I didn't show you how I lined the inside. So all I did was line it with blue felt. So put the blue felt on the back of this. So the blue felt went on to, or the rough side of that little bag. And then I added this, right side of this to right side of that. And it's only a strip, about 2 inches wide. And I machine sewed it all the way along the edge. And then put right sides together and then sew down here. Okay, well, it was actually only down that side and there because this side was a fold. So that is now finished. I'm not going to put a fastener on there. I mean, if you were to make this, you could put any amount of fasteners on there, or any type of fastener, from strings to a buttonhole to a strap to ribbons, anything. What I did buy while I was in Birmingham or a couple of these little notebooks from a shop. It's a Japanese type shop, and I can't remember what it's called. It begins with K, but I'm not sure what it's called, and I can't see the bag this was in. So this just fits in there perfectly like that. So I may put some sort of little attachment there, because I love to carry notebooks about with me, and this is actually big enough as well for a pen or a pencil, or maybe a couple of pens or pencils to go in there and just stick in my bag. So there we are, something really short and sweet, I hope, that grew out of the scraps and the small sweet bag that my grandson was eating his little treats from. So nothing is wasted. It's all rubbish. If you maybe you think it's rubbish in more than one way. I hope not. So have a try, and before you throw anything in the recycling bin, just make sure that you can't use it, that there's nothing that you can use. You'll be surprised. So on that note, I'm going to finish here. Have a go and look through your bin and see what you can salvage, and then go to your scrap bag, your rag bag, whatever you call it, and just play around. You might even want to glue yours down to get an idea of how it looks. And if you use a thin glue like a PVA, let it dry, and then you could just sew on top of it. Okay, so until next time, which won't be very long because I'm working on the next project. This was just like an in-betweeny project between the two, between the two major ones, or the longer projects that we do. And I can see on here this is looking really filthy. Maybe I should have washed it first, but I didn't. Hey ho. So anyway, with Christmas coming, I think these might make nice little gifts. Okay, so I might even put that in the title. Okay then, so take care everybody, please keep safe, and hopefully I will catch up with YouTube and Facebook within the next day or two. Okay, please keep your comments coming in, even though I'm really bad at answering. If you haven't subscribed, please have a think about subscribing, I really appreciate it. So take care everybody, see you soon.